everyone. Hi. I thought I would come and sit down here, make a cup of coffee, and just sit at my cozy desk and share this beautiful new tarot deck with you. It's called the Forager's Daughter Tarot. And I received this a few weeks ago. I've probably only used it a half a dozen times, so I don't really know it inside and out yet. But I tend to be more of not an unboxing person, even though I enjoy watching them. I like to open a deck, get to know it sort of by, personally on my own a little bit before I share it. And because sometimes I get a deck and I just don't connect at all. And why, I don't know. I sort of want to connect to it in a way and see if it's something I really want to share. And this one it is a beautiful deck, and it's unusual among my decks. I have other decks that are more nature-based, things like that. But this one is just different. It feels different. And I love the artwork. It reminds me of like a William Morris type of vibe. The colors and the line work and the attention to detail. It's really beautiful. The deck was created, it was illustrated, and the book was written by Jessica Leigh Howard. And she says that it's an 83 card tarot deck inspired by the Art Nouveau and arts and crafts movement, medieval tapestry, naturalist illustration, and the natural world around us. So that's kind of right up my alley. I mean, I'm a big Roycroft person, arts and crafts movement. So it just seems like a really good fit. Plus it's a nature-based deck. So I thought I would just come on and do a little walkthrough of the deck with you. I have used this, so it's not in order, in any kind of order, but we'll just flip through some of the cards and then I'll do a little reading with them. So Forager's Daughter Tarot, it comes in this beautiful, beautiful magnetic box. I mean, something that you would put out on your table. It's just gorgeous. It has a nice gold thread to lift the cards out. The inside of the box is also lovely. So I love when tarot decks come in boxes like this because I just keep them in them. I love them. The deck is, it's a thick deck. It is edged in gold. It's nice. It's a nice, nice gilded deck. The cardstock is very slippery. It's the kind that if you riffle shuffle, you'll love it. I don't riffle shuffle, but I guess they call this a linen finish. It has like a linen texture. It's very slippery, and I don't mind it at all. They do tend to get away with me a little bit. As I've said, I'm a really clumsy shuffler. I have nerve damage in my hands, and my hands they don't work that well for things like that. So I tend to shuffle in a way where, I put all the cards out and then put them all back together. And then I just do sort of a lazy overhand shuffle when I shuffle the deck. And I do it until I feel like it's time to pull the cards. So yeah, it's really lovely. I love the backs. The insects and the floral vines and the colors. I know this is the second edition, and it was called the Afterlight edition, and it came, I don't know what the original deck looked like, what the first edition looked like. I have no idea, but I know it was different. I know the borders were different. It was, I think, darker. This seems a little bit lighter in value. The backs were different, and I think the book was different. So the deck comes with this guidebook. It's a hardback book, right? It's really beautiful. Not the easiest book to carry around with you, but I don't see this as the kind of deck that I'm going to carry around. But it is really beautiful. The pages are also gilded in the book. Isn't that nice? It's just beautifully made. I'm very impressed with the thought and attention that went into this. So I'm going to read this to you. I love the shadows that are coming in my window through the vines. The Forager's Daughter Tarot came about as a way for me to express my understanding of the world and from a need to share those experiences with others. The images in this deck stem from a deep-seated love of nature and a reverence for its beauty. Excuse me. A reverence for its beauty and cruelty. These cards are intuitive in their imagery, but having a guide doesn't hurt either. Each entry includes a brief summary of the card's image, a general description of its inherent meaning, and an expanded look at the reason why those icons were chosen to represent that meaning. It also includes keywords associated with each icon, as well as for the upright and reversed position. So basically anything you're looking for, it's here. As with any intuitive tool, the reader will have their own way of interpreting the cards. Forager's Daughter deck is meant only to provide insight and perspective to situations that have become muddy. I hope that it brings some clarity to the questions you ask and aids you in understanding your unique position within the world. It's really lovely. So there's a table of contents, which is always handy. So she's got a preface, sort of housekeeping, and then she's got a listing of all the major arcana. And you can see, so the strength card is card number 8 in this deck. I'm trying to think if there's anything renamed. Okay, so here are 5 extra cards. So everything has the name, the traditional name of the tarot, but it sort of follows the Rider-Waite, I'm thinking. And then we have ephemerality, ancestor, stillness, bond, and ingenuity. And I've actually had that card come up, and it was wonderful in the reading I did. Then she goes through the minor arcana, cups, pentacles, swords, and wands, so traditional names. And then she has some tarot spreads following the tracks, clearing the river, and consulting the seasons. Then she has here a preface and just some things about the moon phases, things that you might see on the cards. And then additional arcana. Yeah. And then every card has a full color illustration. So you can really see these cards up close. You can see the detail up close. And then over here, you've got the dissection of the image that she calls the compass, which is sort of the traditional meanings or the meanings of this card, a reflection for this card, and then upright and reversed keywords, and then some keywords for the symbols in the card, for the symbols in the artwork. So every card is like this, and it's just really beautiful. I have not really used the guidebook yet. I've just read it intuitively, which is usually my way, but I will use it. I will use it for sure. So that's the guidebook. And I'm noticing that this is getting, I'm not sure where is my sun right now. I don't want it to obstruct the view of the cards too much, so I may wait just a little bit until the sun has passed. Okay, I zoomed in a little bit. And let's just take a look at these beautiful, beautiful cards. So you'll see that the colors are just luscious. There's a lot of beautiful muted yet clear colors in this deck. And there's also a lot of beautiful textures happening within the colors. So it's just, hopefully that shows up on the camera, but it really is very special. Three of Cups, the Devil card. Love it. The Wolf. Poisonous plants, the wands, the batons with spikes on them. Interesting. Oh, I thought I had these all. Oh, I guess I didn't. Two of Cups, Queen of Wands. Just so you can have a look at it. The World. Water and the air and the earth. Four of Swords. I think you could probably read what the cards are. Six of Wands. Really slippery. Let me go through this and make sure they're not all, I thought I already did it. Okay. The Hierophant with the morel mushrooms. And the toad, so great. This is where I think the guidebook, if you want to use traditional meanings and more esoteric meanings for these cards, the guidebook is going to be invaluable to you because it's different. The imagery is different. The symbols are different. And she really goes into detail for those. But if you're like me, you can also just read it intuitively and read the image, what's right in front of you. And it may have nothing to do with the traditional meaning for the Hierophant. And that's fine, right? I'm actually going to turn these over. King of Cups, the blue heron and the water iris, the moon, beautiful. Queen of Cups. Eight of Pentacles. The worker bee. Eight of Swords. Nine of Wands. The King of Wands. Haven't seen that one yet. The Hermit. The snail curled in this beautiful spiral shell. The light of the firefly. The connection, the invisible connection of the mycelium. Four of Wands. Seven of Wands. Judgment. Three of Swords. Two of Pentacles. I'm sorry, 10 of Pentacles. Within the flowers. Ace of Cups. Tortoises. These new moon energies on the Cups cards, some of them in the Aces. Sorry, the Aces. Love that. Ace of Swords. Two of Pentacles. King of Swords, full moon energy. The Kings. Seven of Pentacles. Knight of Cups. Two of Wands. Nine of Cups. Seven. The Sun. Ladybugs and blossoms of the strawberry plant and the sun. Beautiful. The Death card is really beautiful, I think. The bird whose flesh is open and flowers are coming forth. Two of Swords. Yeah, this one I just have to read intuitively because it does not carry, for me, the tradition, the way I like to read the Two of Swords. So I just read it intuitively, just read the image. New moon energy for the Ace of Wands. Knight of Swords. Half moon. The Fool. So good. Knight of Wands. Knight of Swords, sorry. That was Knight of Swords before. This is one of the extra cards called Bond. With a pack of wolves. Stillness, one of the extra cards. Ephemerality. Ghost pipes. Moss, the Luna moth, who only lives one day. The Hanged Man. What a great image. Queen of Pentacles. Waxing gibbous moon. Six of Pentacles. Page of Wands. Crescent moon. Temperance. And there's our full moon energy for the King. This is the King of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. The Chariot. Geese in chevron flight. Just knowing their direction. They don't have to even think about it. Five of Cups. 10 of Cups. Page of Cups. Aren't they just so beautiful? The Moon. Ingenuity. The Crow solving a problem. Three of Pentacles. The Emperor. The Ancestor. One of the extra cards. The Trillium. Four of Pentacles. What a bounty. Ace of Pentacles with the new moon energy. 10 of Wands. The ant with so much on his back. Six of Swords. Shedding the skin. Four of Cups. Page of Swords. Nine of Pentacles. Eight of Wands. The High Priestess. The Owl, the Raven, the Triple Goddess. The Moon. The Tower. The Star. Seven of Swords. The Raccoon. Perfect. Nine of Swords. Millipede. 10 of Swords. That's a tough one. Knight of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Dandelion. Seeds. The Magician. Tadpoles. Empress. 8 of Cups. 6 of Cups. Lovely. Strength card. Really different. Interesting to see what the guidebook says about that one. Justice. 3 of Wands. Queen of Swords. Wow. That's spectacular. Wheel of Fortune. 5 of Wands. Clash of Antlers. And the 5 of Swords. So that's a little walkthrough. So now I would just like to pull some cards and just see what the guidebook says. I also want to show you a couple decks that I've been using with this deck. And so we've got the 4 of Swords and the Lovers. And okay. So I've been using 2 decks with this. I've been using the Dirt Gems. I've been putting a Plant Oracle with this nature-based deck. They just work really well together. And the Dirt Gems, I think I've talked about it here before. It is quickly, it's probably my favorite Plant Oracle. The guidebook is incredible. And I'm just gonna pull a card. So Damiana. I think they look really, really nice together. This deck does have some really colorful cards, and it also has some monochromatic cards. So let's see if I got a colorful card, how that would look. There's a colorful card. It still really matches the vibe of this. There's something about the purples in here and the darker colors that get picked up by these richer, darker, but more brilliant cards. I love them together. Love, love, love. So let's see. We'll do a reading with this one, and then we'll do a reading with the other one. So reading it intuitively, if it was just for a general message, I see the need for protection. I see the need to rest and to maybe hibernate for a while. And then here I see new life blowing in. The winds will change, right? And it will be time for sort of a rebirth type of thing. It's just simple, right? I mean, that's kind of how I see it. But let's see what the book says and how the book handles this. So the 4 of Swords. Swords are swords. Wands, swords. Okay. So in the book, the 4 of Swords, underneath a snow-capped tree, deep underground, a garden toad is hibernating. He knows when it's time to burrow and will stay in a state of frozen slumber until the ice thaws. In this sleep state, the toad can rest, recuperate, and grow. The underground chamber is naturally insulated and protected by the earthen walls. The 4 of Swords represents mental recuperation and rest. This is a time for hibernation, be it metaphorical or literal. Our minds tend to fill up and become weighed down, and this heaviness can result in other physical and mental ailments. Accept your limitations and use this slow period to give yourself a break. Many creatures hibernate in the cold months. In that time, a creature's body slows down, conserving energy and warmth. They reemerge in spring refreshed and rejuvenated, like this. There are times when we need to step away from life and allow ourselves to rest and heal. 4 swords here symbolize protective walls that allow for quiet contemplation. It takes practice and patience to create the space to train your mind to organize itself and to shut out the noise of life. Winter has always been a difficult time for me. I really detest the cold, and the prolonged darkness makes me lethargic and unmotivated. As I've gotten older, I've started to understand the importance of these colder months as a period of incubation. We need times of barrenness to appreciate when there is abundance, but also to allow for contemplation and quiet. We must find the usefulness of slow times. So in there, she's sort of getting into the traditional, like, Rider-Waite symbolism of this card. So the keywords: rest, slowing down, self-care, and introspection. And then for reverse, she says exhaustion, stagnation, feeling overwhelmed. The toad hibernating is meditation, turning inward to conserve energy. The snowy tree, time to slow and freeze. And the sword, protection or mental barrier. So that's lovely, isn't it? I really love that. Let's look up the Lovers and see what she says here. I typically don't like what guidebooks say about the Lovers card. The 2 dragonflies have stopped to rest on a blooming morning glory vine. The climbing plant is actually 2 vines that have grown together into one. A cluster of rose quartz has emerged at the base of the tendrils. Its pink facets glow with a soft inner light. Synchronicity and balance. The 2 dragonflies have learned to fly together in unison, anticipating the other's next move. This strong partnership is built on a mutual understanding, acceptance of difference, and the balance between. The Lovers can also signify a major decision. If one dragonfly soars off in a different direction, should the other follow or continue on their own path? Coming from a family of fishers, we spent a great deal of time near water. The way dragonflies zoom across the water's surface, stopping suddenly, then veering off again, is mesmerizing. More impressive is when 2 follow each other, mirroring their movements with perfect synchronicity. And yet they are still separate entities and represent different paths or ideals. Eventually they will part the same way the morning glory vine has begun to split. A big decision may lie ahead with 2 very different options available. Finding your own inner balance and harmony will help you make the right choice. So I like how the emphasis isn't on relationships here, but also could be a decision you have to make, right? Or a reflection on your own self. So upright, synchronicity, solidarity, inner harmony, major decision. Reversed, power dynamic, imbalance, lack of compassion or indecision. Dragonflies, separate paths, balance, coming together. Morning glory, intertwined, support, branching out. Rose quartz, compassion, love, and empathy. So I like that she gives the keywords for the symbols themselves. So you don't have to rely on the traditional meaning of the card, but you could just learn more about the symbols that are seen in the card, and so you can read it more as an image. Yeah, that's lovely. So let's look up Damiana and see what this book says here. 36. It's a tingle maker. Damiana is a romantic. Damiana sees us in our most intimate moments. We smell their perfume, the call to sensuality and slow play. Damiana is expansive and cellular. They elongate in the quiet in us and the gasp, scream, until the gasp, scream, moan, whisper must come out. Damiana slows so that building, lengthening, and softening can happen. It's a dream traveler, friend of mugwort, can help you integrate the disparate parts of your life by expanding your memory, deepening your dream state, carrying these dreams to your memory in the morning. If you find your days running faster than you can keep up with, Ask Damiana to join the race, and they will set your pace at a meaningful and luxurious gait. Damiana is your friend if you live in your head. They bring both energy and spirit down into your pelvis, into the earth. Damiana will allow the feminine energy to rise and spread. They hold your center in the root and base of your body so you can open, stretch out, lean into things, and yet not feel untethered. It has an affinity with the pituitary gland. When invited in, they allow the messaging throughout your body to happen more clearly. Damiana is a cable girl. It lubricates and tones the organs of your pelvis, allowing for more movement, more creativity, more connection. The pelvis, the bowl of our body, just see it here, right? Is where all the blood and energy needs to pass through as it circulates. If unattended to or out of balance, this is the place where much congestion and stagnancy can occur. Damiana says, slide down into the languid and divine. You can be restored and be free again, right? So think about what that might mean for you. Yeah, I love these two decks together. So if I kept these same cards, and I can show you another deck that I also really like with it. So this is called the Hedwig Botanical Oracle. This is the first botanical deck I ever purchased, and it was after I purchased the Line Strider Tarot, which I have to say I don't use very often. It's really beautiful, and I love the guidebook, but for intuitive readings, it doesn't do much for me, and I mostly just go with the image. So, but these are really lovely. They've got the dandelions on the backs, which I love. So I'm just going to pick one and show you how lovely it looks with this deck. See? It just matches, right? The line work with the nice coloration, the very clear, clean background. So the other thing that I really like about this deck is that it has keywords. It has the name of the plant, the Latin name of the plant, if you want to do plant work, right? Which I often do. And then a keyword. So you don't have to look at the guidebook. It's just sort of an emphasis for the reading. It gives another layer to what the cards are saying, right? But they look lovely together. I love these two decks together also. They work really well together to me. So yeah, beautiful, huh? And I won't get into these cards and reading the meanings and stuff, because that could be a video for another time. But the guidebook is wonderful. It's called the Hedwig's Field Guide. And there's quite a bit of information about the plants and how to work with the plants, right? It's a really nice guidebook. A lot of research and just good information in that book. It's sort of like a mini herbal. It's really nice. Okay. So yeah, what do you think? I would love to hear your thoughts about this beautiful deck. It is, if we were to add a third card. Oh, I've gotten this card several times now, the Ingenuity card. I really like that card. The Crow. The Crow solving problems, as usual, right? Just so gorgeous. So gorgeous. The Moon. Really beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's a long video, I'm sorry. And if I learned how to timestamp things, I could, so you could fast forward through the cards, but you can do that anyways. But yeah, it's just, it's something I wanted to share, and I hope you found it enjoyable. If you have any questions or thoughts, I would love to hear them. And I will see you again soon. I've got some beautiful oracle decks to share with you that I received from England, and I am so in love with them. I want to use them a little bit more. They are absolutely exquisite, and I can't wait to show you. All right. Thank you, everyone. Take care, and I will see you again soon.